As a manager, you really need delivery to be successful if you're rolling it out in your business. It's a great way to increase your sales outside your four walls, and in the current times of COVID-19, it might be the only way to stay afloat. I almost said a boat, afloat. You might not realize it, but you have a lot of things that you can do as a manager to ensure successful delivery. We're going to go over them today, and it starts after this. All right, so the first mistake managers make, they're often not even in charge of, but in my experience, they always push for it, and that is a bigger delivery area. You do not want your delivery area to be too big. 8 to 10 minutes away from your building first. Miles don't matter, only time to get there. I know you might have customers saying, hey, but I'm only this far away. Can you deliver to me? Well, here's the thing. If you make the exception once, where does it stop? If they say, well, I'm just outside the boundary, and you extend the boundary for them, now the person in the neighborhood behind them says the same thing, and then the person behind them says the same thing, and then the person behind them says the same thing. Next thing you know, you're delivering 25 minutes away. It's not good. It hurts your profitability, it hurts your driver's pay, and it hurts your ability to get people their food both hot and on time. Keep your area small if you have any control on it. Don't push for bigger. And do not break the area for anybody. It needs to stay consistent and be well defined. Tip number 2 is to take care of your drivers. Make sure they're making money. The average delivery driver today in 2020 makes about $15 an hour. So that includes tips, delivery fees, mileage, and any hourly pay they get. If they're not getting around $15 an hour, you're not going to keep them long term. You also need to train them and make sure that they're taught about safety and security, because sometimes they end up they go to some sketchy areas. Make sure they have flashlights. Eliminate dangerous areas from your map and don't deliver there. Teach them emergency preparedness just in case of an accident or robbery or anything else bad that can happen. Tip number 3 is that you need to have a marketing plan every single day. All right? Every day you should be doing some sort of marketing. Social media is a given. You should be on there every day on all the major platforms, making sure people know that you deliver. More effective than social media, though, is actual physical marketing. I like to call it in-between marketing. At the beginning of your shift, give your drivers a couple of goodies. Whatever your menu is, whatever it can carry, or just give them a marketing pack. Have them keep it in their car, and then during the slow time, so not during peak hours, have them stop somewhere on their way back, at an office building, at a hotel, at a convenience store. Anywhere where there's a potential customer, just to make sure they know we deliver and keep us top of mind. Involve your drivers in this. They're going to know places better than you. If they're driving past the same warehouse every day to deliver to other places, knowing that there's 500 people working inside that warehouse, they're going to be thinking, if only we delivered there. It only makes sense to go in there and do some marketing. Drop them off a poster of your menu, drop them off some paper menus, maybe set up a goodie tray and just drop it off one day and say, hey, here's a sample of what we have. If anyone wants to order lunch, we deliver all day. My next tip is to follow up on late orders. If an order is more than 5 minutes late from when you said it will be there, so if you say it's going to be 20 to 30 minutes till it's delivered and it ends up taking 35 or more, you should call the customer later in that day to follow up and apologize. Every single time. Hey, Billy, I'm really sorry. I know your order was 15 minutes late. I just wanted to call and apologize again and make sure everything was okay with your meal. Yes, you're opening yourself up to them complaining, but you're also opening yourself up to ensuring that they're not going to leave you and will order from you again in the future. I think that this was a one-off. My next tip is to make sure that you are accurate 100% of the time, period. So here's the questions to ask yourself. How many points of contact do you have? Is it just a person who packs the order and then that's it? Is it somebody else who does a check? I always recommend having someone do a validation of the check after it's packed. Open it up, make sure everything's in there, and check off each item on the checklist. Then, the driver should do the same thing. Use labels so the drivers know what everything is, so you don't have to open up sandwich wrappers or anything, and keep it nice and neat. That way, the driver can be held accountable to make sure that everything is there. 100% accuracy 100% of the time is your goal. If you're having an error a day or even an error a week, it's too many. Aside from accuracy, your other big thing is speed. If you're not getting there fast enough, they're not going to order from you. Even if you quote them a long time, they're going to want their food quicker. So how do you do this? Well, you need to make sure you have enough drivers, which is what all the other tips are about, and some of my other videos, which I'll link to down in the description. But you also really just need to get your food made quicker. So ticket times are a major thing that managers have an impact on, and it needs to be managed on a daily, hourly, and minutely basis. Here's the deal. People's expectation is 30 to 45 minutes maximum for food. You should shoot for 25 to 30 minutes. that gives you 12 to 18 minutes to make an order. That's a pretty good amount of time. With the exception of some thick cut meats that take a while to grill if they're well done, you can get pretty much any menu item done in that time as long as you're operating smoothly. So ensure that you're set up before you go into a shift, ensure that you're staffed properly, and ensure that it's managed properly and you have the right people in the right positions, and your ticket times are going to work better. If this is something you'd like to see a video on in the future, how to improve your speed of service, let me know in the comments. I've been involved in restaurant delivery for years now, and I'm really passionate about it, and I think it's the future of the business. So, hit me up. Let me know what you got question-wise. That's all I got for you today. Till next time, remember, it's a beautiful day to be alive.